Hello and welcome to Awaken the Truth Within with Zoey Gold. So let's talk about those patterns that weaken your ability to create, that weaken your power and make you more effect and less cause in your life. Just think about that. There is this basic fear of I'm not enough and therefore I won't be loved. But let's go back, and it is learned. So it's not something that the person is born with. It is something that the person learns, as I would say, all other negative beliefs. But anyways, let's go even deeper there. Now, you are a spiritual being. You are this magnificent spiritual being having this physical experience, life experience in physical form. Now, you know, spirit is good. It is magnificent. It is beyond anything we can describe with physical words. You are a spiritual being. So you are good. You are magnificent. You are an infinite part of an infinite whole. That's who you truly are. And you want to be good. And every person, deep within them, in their essence, first of all, they are good and they want to do good and to be good. And yes, there are different levels of, operating from data and being involved in different memories, different beliefs, different aberration, different misaligned misinterpretations that when people operate from that, they can be involved in, let's say, destructive behavior, right? But at their essence, they're good and they want to do good. And different levels of aberration lead them to doing something else, right? So anyways, where I'm leading with this is when you believe or when you think that you are bad or that you did bad, whether it is actually something that you did that you're not very proud of, or, and I can see it in many people, it's just these, inner rules within them that tell them what does it mean to be good or bad, and what behavior is good and what behavior is bad. And sometimes you can see it's different when you go through different cultures or different religions. It's different, so it's not really universal. And if you look at even within a family, even one family that was the kids that, let's say 5 kids that were brought up in the same family, they have different rules about what it is to be good and do good. So often these rules are imposed, I would say self-imposed, because even if it was suggested from the outside, you had to agree with it and accept it in order to internalize it. So these are self-imposed rules, and sometimes I would say in many cases, right, they are limiting. They have actually nothing to do with reality, but they are there. And people do things or they think things or they feel things and then they believe and they decide that they are bad or they did something bad. So it doesn't matter whether you did something that you're not happy about from the past or it actually is something that you just came up with because of different rules in your mind. It doesn't really matter. It is time to set yourself free from it and let it go. So let's say if you did something you're not proud of in the past, there is no reason for dragging it forever with you and making yourself feel bad and punishing yourself for that, right? That's how good you are, is that you will be continuing punishing yourself and weaken yourself just because you want to be good and you want to do good. And as I said, sometimes because of different levels of misaligned misinterpretation, people use different vehicles that could be considered as negative and bad, but intention of within the person is good. So if the person believes that he or she is bad, that weakens the person. The person lowers and reduces the power. So it is time, if there is something like that, to let it go, to forgive the past, to forgive yourself, and treat it as a clarifying moment that now you're clear about your code of conduct, how you want to behave in the future situation, right? What do you actually want out of this? So a desire for new and improved experience was born from living that contrast, even though it could have been unpleasant or something that you did not want to experience or that you're not really proud of, right? And it is really time to truly let it go and cut the ties and know and embrace the goodness of your essence. Because if you look at perfection behind the illusion, all is well. And if you look at your essence behind those stickers of, again, misaligned misinterpretation, different memories, data, information replaying in you, then you are good. You're a spiritual being. At your core, you're pure, perfect and magnificent being. That's who you truly are. So it is really time to step into your knowing and awareness and feeling and being and living that of who you truly are, the truth of it, the truth of your soul. Now, what happens if the person believes or thinks that they are bad and they did bad, and especially if they drag it along with them and they shape their identity according to different things that happened in the past, or they decided that because they did that or that or that, they're bad, right? So in many cases, it's just, like a consideration or those rules that the person has about what's good or bad, what's right or wrong. And often those rules have nothing to do with how it really is and with who you truly, truly are. So it is really time to set yourself free from it. Because when the person believes they're bad or they did bad and they drag it with them and they shape their identity based on that, then they wonder why they cannot break through, because you cannot win when you really play against yourself. And in this case, what you do, you play against yourself. You want good for yourself. You want better life. You want different goals. You want happiness. But at the same time, all your attention is stuck on the problem and is stuck on what you believe about yourself. Let's say in the event, if the person believes that he or she is not good enough, and it can have different levels of it. It can be from different little things like regret, or things I didn't do enough for my parents, or I didn't do enough for my children, or because of me, my kids are not as successful as I wanted to be. And it can go to very extreme ends, like I thought this thought, therefore I'm a bad person. I've seen and heard that from my clients. I have these feelings, therefore I'm a bad person. I did this thing and therefore I'm a bad person, and many other things, or just a decision out of the blue. And again, I've heard that from my client as well, that why did I even decide that I'm good? I haven't even done anything good. Right? So this kind of stuff. So what happens, it creates these inner conflicts within you, and you're going forward, you're going towards what you want, you're going towards better life, towards joy, towards happiness, but you are holding yourself back because all your attention is actually stuck on the problem, on the thing you're not happy about, on the thing you did or didn't do, or whatever that is. And it takes all your attention. So when your attention goes there, what you do is you recreate it. That's, instead of creating and flowing ideas and creating beautiful life, all you do is you recreate all that and make it perpetual, all those things that were painful, that were happening in the past that you didn't like, etc., etc., etc. So now, here's a question for you. And deep within you, like If it doesn't apply to you, again, beautiful. It's still good to know at a conscious competence level. But what I can also see that many people, because they are awakening and they are learning a lot about self-mastery and personal development, they have like two different, and also at some deep level within you, you know it. So it's like two kind of ideas and levels. When you truly align with who you truly are and you feel good, you tap into that inner knowing about you, your essence, and you know your magnificence, you know your greatness, you know you have infinite potential. That's why you go for it. That's why you listen to this podcast. That's why you study different personal development materials. That's why you want to better your life, right? Because you know your essence, you know who you truly are. And at the same time, there are many of those kind of like beliefs or beliefs that shape your self-image or your self-identity that suggest other things based on your experience, based on the past, based on what you have in the present. And the person kind of knows this and knows that. And whatever is dominant in your life, and that will actually shape and influence what you have in your life and your life experiences. And many people go 50-50 between knowing who they truly are and believing they're not good enough. Many people go 70-30, many go 20-80, etc. And so on. And you can see it getting reflected in their life, because the outside is like the reflection, and the inside is that image that you show to this reflection. So unless you change the image that you show, the reflection will not show. So the question here is there any, like, first of all, do you, most of the time, so let's take a week, or let's take a month, or let's take last 6 months, right? Most of the time, because I know that the delight of knowing comes to you. But most of the time, or dominantly, what do you truly believe about yourself? Do you believe you're bad, or do you believe you're good? Now, another question that can go even deeper there, even if you believe you're good, even if you know you're good, do you believe that you did bad? Something that you did or didn't do, should have done, shouldn't have done, etc. That actually takes away your attention, that you focus on, that you feel bad about. So instead of living in the now, and instead of projecting into the future those things that you want, you often get, if that's the case, you often get stuck on that thing that you believe you didn't do good, or you do not do good, or you do not do right, or it doesn't work. Okay? And now let's go even deeper. Is there any area in your life or something that you believe that you are not doing good, or you did bad, or whatever, right? That you're really afraid, or it feels like something drops within you if you imagine that somebody else can know about it. And that somebody else can be your friend, your spouse, even though some people might already know about it and you're okay with it, but there are some other people that you would never, ever, ever want them to know. Or it's not even about you don't want them to know. It's something like makes you weaker, and it feels like something like really drops inside of you if you think that oh my God, they can see that, or they can find out about it, or it can be known. Okay, now the good chances are, if there is something like that, somehow it is connected to the area in your life that doesn't really work well. So when you have a challenge or a problem in your life that you haven't been able to solve, especially for a while, somehow, in many cases, that thing, that area, that when you felt that dropping feeling of weakness is connected to that challenge, or that area, or that problem that you have. Well, what's the solution here? And now if we talk about it, when again, you're good, the spirit is good, you're a spiritual being. That's who you truly are when you look behind the game, when you look behind the illusion. When you believe or think you're bad, it is just the consideration which is not real. So that's first of all. And what you also can do here is, well, in this area that you've had challenge for a while, right? It's not changing because you're not getting the truth and the essence of what's going on there. Like you're trying to solve the problem from from the surface. You're not going deep enough to really see the truth of the situation and the truth of you and the truth of how it all plays in your life. So what you can do here is, first of all, to understand that it's you who believed in that thing that you believe that you're bad or you did bad. So it's just a belief. It's just a consideration. It was, again, if you are not very proud of what you did, a moment of clarity. Now you know better. Now you know better. Maybe even because you lived that experience, and not maybe, for sure. Now you know better. Now you know better what you actually want. So drop that tie between and stop dragging the past with you and stop giving your attention to it. Just let it go. Just forgive it. Thank it for the clarity that you now know and have about how you want it to be. And that's it. Now, it is your belief that you decided that you are bad or you did bad. So you can change it. And especially if it's about those rules that are self-imposed, that have nothing to do with reality and with what actually you actually want. Because by wanting to be good, you want to be love, because your essence is love. The essence of spirit is love. And by beating yourself up and by going back to the past and by punishing yourself, you're not giving love. You're not going to what you actually wanted. You're not giving yourself what you actually wanted. Neither yourself, nor the other person, nor the situation. So the second thing you can do, you can remind yourself that you're cause. You are cause. And everything in life happens for you. And the third thing you can do, you can remind yourself that it is all there is a game. It's a beautiful game of life that you're playing here on this planet. You are magnificent, amazing, unbelievable, beautiful, divine being. Your spiritual DNA is perfect. Your essence is perfect. You're everything you've ever wanted to be and even more. You're so bigger than the game. And there is infinite perfection behind illusion. Now, nothing in this life is important, truly, really important. And when you remind yourself that it is a game and nothing is serious, nothing is important, it will lift that resistance and that tension and that stress that you give in that area where you feel challenge or a problem. Because when you get too serious, when you get too tense, when you get too caught up in the problem, in the game, that's when this problem becomes perpetual and it continues. So just remind yourself that it is a game, that nothing is too serious. Because life, the more serious it gets, the more life wants to show you that it is not serious. So you can really enjoy it, play it, step into your true power, know your true essence, know who you truly are, and come from love. The thing that you want, to be aligned with the divine, to be aligned with source, to be connected, to be at oneness with God, and to flow love to yourself, to flow love to others, to flow love, to be love, to live love, to feel love, to think love. That's what you actually want. Not beating yourself up, tearing yourself apart, focusing on the past, punishing yourself, but love, 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 and love. And it is your choice, and you can choose it now. So it was great being with you today, and have an amazing day. I will talk to you in our next episode. Bye now.